And another thing that it's not the normal way of things happening is the last session for the day. Usually the moderator is here, I mean online, and if we have someone online, would be some of the presenters. We are changing the ground. We have an online moderator, and majority of the speakers will be here at present. So Lucia, it's my really great pleasure to invite you on this virtual floor to moderate the session. So please, I'm giving you the floor, and I believe you'll present all the panelists. I will invite them to join us, they're here to join us. So Lubomir, Christina, please, and yes, Andrea.
Thank you very much, Theodora. Hello to everybody in Austria. It is, as you say, one of the challenges we have to cope every day with the situation induced by the coronavirus pandemic. And these challenges really induce our creativity. So we have to be creative. This is today something for me that I call a total moderation turnaround, being virtually online and you being present there. I really miss talking to you. I miss the eye contact. I miss looking at your faces, the discussions and the questions in your eyes. But as Andrea said, I hope this situation will be over. The sooner the better. But in the meantime, let's try to make the best out of it, as you showed today with this hybrid conference. The session that we are opening now is called Towards a Greener Europe, and we are here to learn about approaches in international projects. And together with 4 great speakers, we will bring to your attention and as well to your discussion examples on how clusters that engage in international collaboration are able to contribute to this towards a greener Danube region. Given the time, we are a bit late. We will try to keep the time schedule. Each presenter will have about 10 minutes to present her or his project. And I would ask you to either put the questions in the chat room, and then we will address the questions after each presentation. We will start now with Andrea Pena. I don't think, Andrea, you spoke already, but you haven't been properly introduced. You're capacity building officer within the Danube Strategy Contact Point on behalf of the Romanian Ministry of Public Works, Development and Administration. And Andrea has a large experience in management of EU funds and has been dealing with European Territorial Cooperation Program and projects for 14 years. That's a very long time and a very large experience. And now you are focusing in the macro-regional strategy right now, looking into the support for the implementation of the EU strategy for the Danube region. We would like to welcome you to present us, to introduce us to this EU strategy for the Danube region as a framework for green development. And now the floor is yours, and thank you very much in advance for keeping as good as possible the time. Thank you, and the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for the lovely introduction. I will try to share my screen, and I will also try not to provoke death by PowerPoint to the participants. But apparently the host disabled participant screen sharing.
We will change that now.
Okay, please do so. Thank you, I'm the host. That's good. Okay.
In case you have a problem, I have the presentations open, but it looks like
it should work, I hope. Okay. So I switched sides from projects who work very closely to the people who are on grassroots and who actually make the things happen. And I have to tell you, I was quite skeptic when I switched the sides, that I switched to what is the strategy level, so the policy level. I told you that I would try not to kill you with the PowerPoint. So my first proposal was that I would start the presentation with a very short video on what this strategy is, which I hope it would work and that you would be able to see it and to look at it. Because usually people ask me, okay, what does a strategy do? And we tried to make it a bit visual. So once you have the visual, we can start talking about the rest. So I will try and shut up now.
The European Union strategy for the Danube region addresses common challenges, combining efforts and facilitating cooperation. The strategy is connecting people to improve the quality of life through sustainable development in the Danube region, creating a region where life loves to live.
Okay, I hope you even managed to hear our text. Because if you, before I switched sides and started working for a macro-regional strategy, I was thinking that a strategy is just a piece of paper, and you know that paper can hold basically anything and can write very nice things that are never really put into practice. Well, macro-regional strategies, innovative ways of doing things in Europe, and now are considered laboratories for a new Europe, bring to the table multinational solutions to transnational problems. So these strategies are based on analysis. They want to be efficient and support the transfer of know-how. They are solution-oriented, and they favor integratory processes. And how do they work is like, by what I was saying earlier, they work by multi-level governance and stakeholder involvement, which means that there should not only be there just ministries and representatives from the countries, but also NGOs, for example, or representatives of the business environment. Because this is the only way that you can integrate perspectives and policies and transform them into processes and projects that will bring out the results in the territory. One of the things that a strategy does, which it does not have money on its own, because these strategies work with 3 no's. So there are no new funds, no new institutions, and there is no new legislation. So you will not find one program that would finance everything, from big investment for transport, for instance, to labor market projects. So these 3 no's are translated into institutional cooperation and multi-level governance. Who does what in these, let's say, in this huge network of people is that once, for instance, we have the political level that is involved, because we have 14 national coordinators coming from the 14 countries that work constantly with the European Commission. Now, this strategy is also split into 11 thematic areas. We call them priority areas. And these areas that you see here, that are 11 plus 1, because transport is split into 2, they are co-coordinated by specialists in the countries, which is the priority area coordinators, and they are supported by the steering groups. And in these steering groups, there are representatives from all the 14 countries, coming from line ministries, coming from international organizations, coming from local organizations. And you will ask me, okay, where does the business sector meet this, the need for environment in this strategy? The first time I asked my colleagues who are dealing with the priority areas, and they told me that I should look more into priority area 8, which is dealing with competitiveness of enterprises. Priority Area 7, which is dealing with knowledge society, and Priority Area 2, which is dealing with sustainable energy. Because in this entire story with the EU Green Deal and the green development, sustainable blue economy is playing an important role. Because they are the ones who are dealing on a twofold scenario. So bioeconomy deals with tackling climate change and also developing the business and ensuring, yes, what our movie was saying, ending up in a region where life loves to live. What the strategy can offer to the business actors is what I was saying when Daniel asked me, how the policymakers can be involved. It offers networking platforms. In specific fields, it cooperates with the Enterprise European Network for our colleagues from Priority Area 8. We offer platforms for identifying funding sources, which is the Euro Access platform. And there you can tick and you can get their newsletter and you can personalize your answers because that is a database. And what it brings also is the opportunity to raise awareness of relevant topics and addressing these topics at the policy level. Did I kill you by PowerPoint yet? No? Okay, I hope not. I'm almost done.
Exactly in time, don't worry. Just thank you.
I would like to invite you all to attend the online annual forum that will deal with harmonious and sustainable development in the Danube region. And it will be on the 22nd of October, and on the 21st, there will be the Danube Participation Day. So I would kindly ask you to join us there and to join the thematic sessions that will deal with how the Green Deal is reflected into the economical way, into the environmental protection, and into a social and civil protection. And then I would also invite you to join our session at the European Week of Regions and Cities, and that we are going to tackle and to find out together how the young generation can take over the Danube region. And I will also invite you to follow the strategy on the different social media. I will tell you that there are movies presenting each priority area, and that we are constantly updating and tweeting and publishing news that are important in the region, and that you can visit Euro Access. That's a database on funding, because this panel is on funding. You can look at former projects of European territorial cooperation on keep.eu, which is another database of projects. And you can also visit the virtual exposition of projects for 30 years of Interreg. And this would be mostly everything from me. And I would end my presentation with a quote that tells us that unless you have a compass and you have a direction, no wind will be favorable. So I think that what these strategies do, whether it's a macro-regional strategy or whether it is a topic strategy, such as a bioeconomy strategy in the region, they offer a compass. Thank you. I will end my screen sharing. And I will now, wait, how do I go back? Stop screen sharing. And I have to give back the host, right?
Thank you very much, Andrea. Thank you.
To whom do I give it? To Teodora?
No, it's okay. So because Christina will be now the next one, so she will have the presentation in the room.
Okay.
And is now the host. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Do not forget to put your questions for Andrea in the chat. And now I would like to introduce Christina Leocuța. I thought asking you, if I were in the room, I would have asked, who doesn't know Christina Leocuța? Myself, I know you for since 2008. It's already 12 years. And in case there are some participants who do not know, Christina, she is since 2014 senior advisor of the Clustero National Cluster Associations with more than 10 years of experience in managing, great, that's my timer, in managing projects on innovation and cluster policy. And until 2013, so by the time we met Christina, you were director at the Ministry of Economy, Directorate for Industrial Policies and Cluster Policy Coordinator, and representing Romania in many high-level groups like the Enterprise Policy Group, Director General with European Commission, and the TAIEX consultant for the Republic of Moldova and Turkey in clusters. Many people who know you, they call you the mother of clusters in Romania, since the contribution you made and the effort you put in putting together with the Clustero National Association to put the Romanian clusters on the European map really shows its fruits in the beautiful development we see over the last decade. Christina, now you're going to introduce us a project you have been recently being involved with, Danube Peer Chains, and we are eager to hear particularly the aspects of upskilling, reskilling, cross-skilling of the SMEs through the support of clusters. The floor is yours. And
thank you very much, Lucia. First of all, I congratulate Bulgarian friends for this interesting event focused on bioeconomy and cluster collaboration. Our Bulgarian-Romanian cluster cooperation has a long tradition, more than 10 years, and focused on different issues. And Danube is our joint love. As we saw, the interdisciplinarity nature of bioeconomy, both local and global, and the importance of clusters and as main pillars for industrial ecosystem determined the participation of partners, Romanian and Bulgarian, in different projects, like Danube Peer Chains is a project within Interreg Danube program. The second slide, where Clustero, Romanian Cluster Association and National Institute for Labor Protection are partners in this project. And other partners from 9 countries. The project started in July this year till 2022 and is focused on increasing building capacity of business support organizations and also labor market support organization, and also training programs for businesses from the Danube area to increase their capacity to enter in transnational value chains. And I look upon bioeconomy from the perspective of reskilling, upskilling, and cross-skilling of employees and entrepreneurs, emphasizing the role of clusters as main pillars for industrial ecosystems. The next slide, and you look here at the countries from where the partners are, the full partners and associated partners. The next slide explain the main topics of this project. How can business support organization and labor market support organization support SMEs as a core a member of a cluster to their digital transformation process. As you know, the main challenges of these times are digital transformation, climate change, aging process, circular economy, and all this process determine process of reskilling, upskilling, and cross-skilling of employees and entrepreneurs. And R&D entities as members of clusters have a crucial role to support SMEs to increase their competencies to face to this all challenges. The project is focused on the next slide on and the next on cooperation in the Danube region and also is focused on supporting companies acting within value chains. The next slide presents the first objective of the project, increase the capacity building to enhance competence of labor support organization and labor market support organization and business support organization. We started an analysis of characteristics of labor market in each country partner project. And based on this analysis that involves competencies, gaps, needs in key fields of digitalization, based on this, we present some tools and measures to policy makers and both national and regional, and we try to improve the smart specialization strategies and the regional action plan. The next objective, the first objective is based also on best practices from another project S3 for Alp cluster, smart specialization and smart clusters, where the partners discussed the synergy diamond, how climate change affect agro-food chains, different materials and energy efficiency and so on. The next slide present how we intend to make a comparison between 4 Alp clusters and our project concerning Danube Diamond, to identify collaboration potential with regard to transnational value chains. We discuss the value chains in engineering, in machine buildings, in ITC, in automation and robotics, and also in metal industries. The second objective is focused on developing and piloting of multi-level training. We analyze all competencies, gaps, and needs in key fields of digitalization and value chain aspects. and we collect some practice cases concerning Industry 4.0 technologies, concerning organizational structure change, and how the value chain is changed based on the measure taken. We have for this objective the best practice of Danubio Valnet. Danubio Valnet was a successful project in within Danube transnational program. The next slide. Danubio Valnet analyzed three value chains in phytopharma, eco-construction, and bio-based packaging. And we discuss the digitalization process in these three value chains. And we have now this best practice for our chosen sectors. The next slide, another slide, the next, present different projects where is developed a training process, projects Smart Factory Hub and Digitrans, two projects very interesting within Danube transnational program. The third objective, this is Industry 4.0 from Smart Factory Hub. Another objective, and the third and the last is the next slide. Is focused on policy recommendation as contribution to the two priority axes of EU Danube strategy, respective priority axis 8, competitiveness of enterprises and clusters of excellence, and priority axis 9, people and skills. Concerning smart specialization strategies and also regional action plans. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Christina. Thank you very much. And again, I would like to remind you that you have the possibility to place questions in the chat. As time is an important resource right now, we are at the last session of the day. I would like to go now to the third panelist of this session, Lubomir Stanislavov, and introduce him. Lubomir is not only a famous Bulgarian architect, but also an expert in the automotive industry. And that makes, I mean, he's in his own person and a wonderful example of cross-sectorial collaboration or expertise existing into one entity. He's one of the founders of the automotive cluster in Bulgaria, and currently it's CEO and member of the board. He works actively and promotes the entry of new investments in the automotive industry in Bulgaria, and works a lot as well with the government representatives and organizations in Bulgaria. In February this year, he was elected Executive Director of the Bulgarian Employers Association Innovative Technologies. And in this role, he works actively for a greater visibility of the Bulgarian cluster organizations and for the inclusion of BRIGHT, this is the name of the Employers Association, in the Advisory Council to the Bulgarian government. Based on this initiative, a mapping of 14 sectors of the Bulgarian industry was made, giving a selective overview of the territorial distribution, the number of employees, and the turnover of each of the companies. I think this is an excellent, let's say, beginning, initiative beginning for the BRIGHT Association. And now, Lubomir, we would like to hear your presentation on participative ecosystems for fostering the revitalization of rural urban cooperation through governing Danube circular bioeconomy. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much from my side. Thank you for the very long presentation. Actually, I just want to add two things. So first, actually, according to the statutes of the new employers organization, BRIGHT, the organization is managed by the automotive cluster. So I am here in my role as executive director of the automotive cluster, but at the same time, we are managing the association, the new employers organization, BRIGHT. Secondly, together with me is Genoveva, who I'm sure that all of you know very well, because we are going to present a second stage of a project which was done before that, and she was active participant also in the first part of this project. But before I start, I just want to share with you, today was a really interesting day, because first, for me, this is the first live conference after the COVID, but at the same time, there was another conference in Bulgaria, in another place called Stara Zagora, which was basically more or less for the same topic. Stara Zagora is, I'm not sure, it's probably the 5th or 6th biggest city in Bulgaria, but it's depending from the coal industry. It's this region, they have a lot of coal, so they produce energy from this coal for, I don't know, the last at least 50 or even more years. Unfortunately, or I don't know, probably for them could be a fortunate scenario also. This place today, it's very dirty, and it's the biggest question currently, also with the upcoming Green Deal, is how to turn this whole place from a coal-dependent industry to a green industry. But yes, this is a big, huge challenge. On the other side, there are a lot of opportunities because they have a huge land, a lot of people, and a lot of infrastructure. And more or less, this is the same topic from another perspective. So going very quickly to through the project, Go Bio Danube. Go Danube Bio, sorry. So this project basically just started. It started in July because of the COVID crisis. We are participating in many projects, but this one is quite big. So currently there are 18 partners, 7 associated partners coming from 10 different countries in Europe. And over 72% of them are basically clusters or cluster associations. This is the map. So the leading partner is coming from Germany. From Bulgarian side, we are 2 partners. It's BRIGHT and the Association for Small and Medium Enterprises. From our Romanian colleagues who are here with us, they are also participating with another 3 organizations. So what are the challenges? The challenges in the project are first for setting up governmental communication, which could be like a vertical communication, and involving them in those decisions. Of course, it's very important to increase the attractiveness of the bioeconomy for the rural areas and for the young people. And of course, fostering cross-regional cooperation. Yeah. So what are the strengths of the project? This is the commitment of the local partners and the private partners in combination of proven knowledge, important and relevance of associate partners, unique methods to be applied for achieving those results, and sophisticated social innovation processes. Here are the 4 main actions that we're planning to do in this project. Analysis of the circular bioeconomy framework conditions in the partnering countries, integration of, sorry, I'm just following what is, yeah, this is the right slide. Integration plan for prospective stakeholders for developing sustained and holistic circular bioeconomy. Development of traditional model for circular bioeconomy. And of course, policy actions and capacity buildings. Our organization has to develop the communication project. This is a role that we were looking for in many other projects that we participated before. And through this work package, we had to target different groups. Before going to the final words, actually, I just want to mention that I want to show you one more project developed by Bright. But before that, I would like to give the floor for a second to Genoveva, please.
Thank you very much, Lubo. Hi, Lucia.
Hi, Jenny. So nice to see you.
Missing you here. Really missing you here. I'm so happy you're moderating this session. So I hope soon to see you.
I hope to.
So following the green agenda, I just would like to say a few words how all this, you know, how all this happened, because I remember we were, and in fact we were with Lucia and all the other colleagues in a big event in Göteborg when Gert Matsukoka said, let's make a, you know, a project in a bio-based economy. So let's unite Danube region countries around the bioeconomy. And that's how we enter in this project. And I'm so happy that in the identified sectors, some of our colleagues here, they were actively involved in the first phase, a green synergy cluster. Liana, hello. Yep. So you were actively involved, also the perfumery and cosmetic, because Bulgaria is very famous with rose oil and all these cosmetic products. So in fact, what we are trying, so we have a lot of resources, but how to add value in order to make them more valuable and to have a signature from our region in order to complement into the industry. So I'm so happy that we are quite actively involved in the project, also including actors from Bulgaria. The other sectors were eco-construction and packaging. And remember when I started moderating the pitching session, I told you that in packaging, now Bulgaria and Romania are talking about. So it's really good that in these identified sectors, now we're speaking about the bioeconomy, which means that probably the policymakers can start looking for having a strategy, as we discuss about the importance of the strategy. And I'm sure that our region and our countries can have a lot to, you know, to complement into this industry, because we are rich with resources. We just need to add value, to modify the right packaging, and then to sell and to increase the competitiveness of the region in this way. So this is my remark. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Genoveva. Yep, I just want to add before, I think it's probably the last presentation for today, so I would like to show you something that we are doing, we were doing for the last 6 months, and I think it will be interesting for you. But just before going there, I want to share with you that for us coming from the automotive industry, and I'm sure in Romania, automotive industry is much more bigger, the changing economy is really changing industry is a huge thing. And the speed, especially the automotive industry is changing, is now unbelievable. So,
Lubomir, before you start, there is another presentation after you. And
okay, so I will be really quick. So it
Thank
will be just like 3-4 minutes. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
So this is a short project that we did together with the Agency for Small and Medium Enterprises. So how I can do it like a full slide? Okay. Yeah. So basically, what we did was we had a discussion with them that they really liked the automotive map of Bulgaria with the industry that we are doing. And then at some point we say, okay, if you like it, let's do maps for other industries. And this is what you see is basically the first result out of collaboration between Bright and the small and medium, the Agency for Small and Medium Enterprises. So unfortunately, it's not so easy. Maybe I will just talk and you can turn it. Yeah, so we developed basically for 14 different industries, we developed maps. So these maps are depending from every circle is one company, and the size of the circle is either the size of a turnover of the company or the size of the number of people employed. So what you're seeing at the moment is the map of the automotive industry by turnover. So maybe we can go further. So next one is biotechnology. So pretty much connected with what we are discussing. And it turns out that biotechnology industry is quite a big as a number of companies in Bulgaria. So we have over 36,000 companies. Okay, they do, of course, smaller turnover than the automotive industry. Automotive industry is close to 5 billion euro. This is a little bit less than 1 billion, but it's still very impressive how many companies they are. So probably the next sector we just talk for the cosmetic industry, which is a very typical for Bulgaria. Nevertheless, it's still a relatively small industry. It employs around 6,000 people, and it has like 200 something companies, which do around a little bit more than 280 million. Maybe we can go quicker for the next one. Yeah, this is basically the most important industry for us. This is the educational industry. And the educational industry is currently involving more than 33,000 people. These are just the universities and the higher education. Actually, all of those maps, you can download it from the internet for free. There is also an interactive map. So can we go the next one? So the energy industry, you will see this is the biggest industry in terms of turnover, more than 13 billion euro turnover, and around 50,000 people employed. The energy industry, we divide it in two. So there is, you see also the renewable energy. This is, yeah, we can go further. Yeah, this is probably the one of the two most typical sectors in Bulgaria. So the food industry, it's a huge one, more than 100,000 people, and you can see how many companies. Yeah, next one. So the furniture industry, Genoveva is here with me from the furniture cluster. Yeah, the next one. One of the probably most important industries for us, I mean, for us as a country and for us as an automotive cluster is the ICT industry and the IT industry, because this is something which is slowly merging with every other industry. And you can see where are those centers, how big they are. The size of the IT industry in Bulgaria is comparable with the automotive industry, which I think this is, you cannot say to many other countries. So the marine industry, yeah, we are now in the Black Sea, so most of the companies are located here. Maybe we can go the next one. Yeah, so the next two industries are the machine industries and typical industry for Bulgaria, and the mechatronics. Of course, the mechatronics is a younger industry, so much more less companies as the typical machine industry, but this will grow for sure. Another important industry is the outsourcing industry. Bulgaria was chosen as one of the best locations for the outsourcing industry, but unfortunately, as you see, this is basically mostly Sofia and almost no other city. I told you we had different from renewable different maps for renewable energy. The Bulgarian map of the renewable energy is it's pretty much close to the one in Germany. The mix of energy is close to the one in Germany. And this is the other very typical industry for Bulgaria, the textile industry. You can see on the map, it's pretty much spread in the whole of the country. It's employing now more than 100,000 people. So, and this is a map from all of the industries in one. These maps are interactive on the internet, so you can scroll, you can go up to a single company, and you can make analysis of different regions. Sorry for this additional small presentation, but I think this is an interesting information that we were able to gather for the last 6 months, and this is the website where we can go and look and also download all of those maps. Sorry if I was too long.
No, it's okay, Lubomir, and thank you very much for sharing this literally very important information with the audience today. And one of my suggestions is to make this information also available to the colleagues from the European Cluster Collaboration Platform, where they are looking into the industrial agglomerations in Europe. I don't know whether such an analysis has been done before, but it's literally with the latest numbers that you displayed. And I think it's really, really important to share and make this information more visible at the European level, also as a promotion, not only as a promotion, but also for a better understanding where the hotspots are, where the industry development goes in Bulgaria into the wider European community. So if you want, I will share you the contacts afterwards for you to share. I would also recommend that you share it with the European Commission, with the unit responsible for the clusters, with Ulla Engelmann, who spoke this morning. Now, last but not least, Andrea Sulak-Pal. Now, I literally think that you are having the honor of closing the conference with with your presentation. A very warm introduction as well to you. We are coming right now to the representative of activities of a cluster organization, probably in the region of Central Europe, the most active cluster in the Central region. And you have been involved in the cluster development process initiated already over the 8 years, and responsible for, since 2013, you're responsible for the project implementation, communication, and activities of the organizations, PR activities, training, seminars, national and international conferences, and fact-finding missions. As I said, our paths have crossed many times in the past, and with your proactivity, that goes also for the name of your cluster, ProWood. I would like to invite you now to share from these activities and from this large experience you have in implementing international projects, following the example of the Rosewood 4.0 Horizon 2020 project. Thank you for keeping the time so that we also have a very quickest round of discussions if the organizers still allow it afterwards. The floor is yours, Andrea.
Thank you very much. I promise I'll be short as usually. So being the last person presenting is quite challenging, I assume, after such a long and demanding day. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Andrea Sulak-Pal. I represent the ProWood cluster located in the center region of Romania. very shortly about the ProWood cluster. So we are located in Covasna County. One of my colleagues, Clara Fodor, presented earlier the business incubator concept from Sfântu Gheorghe, Romania, where also the ProWood cluster has its headquarters. The ProWood cluster was established in 2010 as a result of an FP7 project, but it is a bottom-up initiative of the Woodworkers Association from Covasna County. Currently, we are gathering over 60 members. They cover different fields of activity, starting from wood harvesting and processing till the accessories and sculptures producer. We are very proud that we are the 4th gold label cluster in Romania and the 1st gold label cluster in the Centru region of Romania. Okay. So as Lucia already mentioned, I'm presenting today very shortly about our Rosewood 4.0 project, and I represent quite a traditional industry, as you probably know. So we have been talking today about bioeconomy. So wood can play a very important role in the bioeconomy. Therefore, we identified the fact that in order to enhance competitiveness of the forest industry, there is need of promotion and innovation in the wood value chains. We have been, before starting the implementation of our Rosewood 4.0 project, we have been implementing the Rosewood project, which was the basis of the elaboration of this Rosewood 4.0. Rosewood was dealing with, it was a European network on sustainable wood mobilization. Now, given the fact that we already gained some experience, we have created this project which builds on the previous experiences. To make our work more efficient, we work on regional hubs. So while on the previous period, we have been working in 4 hubs, north, south, east, and west. Now we have an additional hub, Eastern European hub, in which we have the honor to be members and contribute with our experience. So there is need to focus on digital training solutions. This is the gap we have identified in the last 2 years, and this is our main goal to cover in the next period. What do? We try to identify best practice solutions, innovations, and research findings, which all address sustainable wood mobilization. So each on regional hub level, we do a mapping of best practices, which we compile, and later on, after a certain period of time, after several workshops and work with our experts, we transfer them to other hubs, thus hoping that our ideas and solutions will be heard. Yes, we want to identify and develop cooperation and innovation between all actors of the forest industry. So we always organize different workshops dealing with regional roadmaps. We have regional operational working groups, all of these addressing the needs of the traditional forest industry. But we also want to offer some business support. So this is why we are working also in identifying new business models and new business opportunities for these traditional sectors. Creativity workshops, B2B meetings are on daily basis. So as mentioned, we work in 5 regional hubs where we currently share best practices and innovations. We have extended our initial consortium with new partner countries. We have 21 consortium partners, so we have quite a big consortium, but it's a reinforced alliance. Expected outcomes. So we hope that after these 2 years of implementation, we will come up with some new innovative ICT products and services designed for the wood sector. We want to share our knowledge, we want to increase the flow of information, and we want to achieve greater user acceptance of collected solutions. This would be all from my side. If you want further information about the project, please access our website. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Andrea, as well. Thank you for keeping the time. I think it would be nice to close the round with one quick question, maybe that everybody or each of the panelists can answer from her or his perspective. And since we are here at the Romanian-Bulgarian Cluster Conference, let's put the clusters at the center of answering the question. And combining also the wish to make the role of the clusters play and put it on the agenda, on the European agenda, now at the moment where the next funding programs are defined, let's try to see and find out from each perspective what is the role of clusters. And to translate that for Andrea Pena, let's start with you. The role of clusters, will the clusters be in the new strategy? Will there be room for the clusters, or will they still be in the agenda in the next funding period for the next program? For Christina, you spoke about the role of upskilling and reskilling and a lot of activities. Maybe you have a small examples, a concrete example on how clusters can contribute to support their SMEs in particular, to upskill, reskill, cross-skill their workforce. For Lubomir, very interesting presentation of the industrial agglomeration as it is right now in year 2020 in Bulgaria. How is this reflected or in the role in the clusters landscape? Is each agglomeration followed by activities or not followed, but correlated with a cluster development in that specific area? And also for Andrea, again, maybe if you can, Rosewood 4.0 is a continuation of Rosewood program. What came out, and give us an example that we can promote further in the European community on how clusters, how a wood cluster can help their SME to digitalize. So maybe really short answers, but coming from the heart, so that we can build upon and finish this session with a nice emphasis on the role clusters can play. Thank you.
Okay, I think I'm starting, right?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, as I already mentioned, a strategy doesn't have money. So the Danube strategy doesn't have money. The Danube strategy has, let's say, actions and targets that can be financed by all the financial instruments that are available. There is, of course, a Danube transnational program that covers the geographical area perfectly. But this program that is usually, its budget is usually around 200 million, it's obviously not enough to cover all the needs of the strategy. So apart from this, what we do have for the next programming period are the proposal for the regulations that ask for the financing instruments that are available in a macro-regional area to take into account the objectives of the macro-regional strategy. And what I would tell you is that the priority area 8 has an action that wants to foster cooperation and exchange of knowledge between SMEs, creative industry, academia, public sector, civil society in areas of competence in the region. And another one that targets improving the framework conditions, support programs and capacity building for stakeholders to enhance the collaboration between cluster initiatives and regional initiative strategies. And then there are working groups on innovation and technology transfer, digital Danube, artificial intelligence, women entrepreneurship. So let's say that this Danube strategy, it sets the framework and it creates the spider net that then the financing instruments that are available, either if we talk about the European available one, which is like Horizon, for instance, If we talk about the European territorial cooperational ones, yes, is it the Romania-Bulgaria cross-border cooperation program? Is it the Danube transnational program? Is it the next Interreg Europe program? Or are we finally talking and going to touch the mainstream programs at national level? This is a process that is called embedding. What we did in the Danube strategy point, we did an analysis of all the actions of the Danube strategy, which are 82, I think, and where they can find financing instruments based on all the proposal for future funds. And that analysis has been sent to the national coordinators in the 14 countries. And now they are in a process of negotiating it with the programming bodies. Okay.
Thank you very much, and let's hope the results of this negotiating process will be.
I hope as well, but if, for instance, your question was referring to a Danube transnational program, the future Danube transnational program will be presented on the 22nd of October at the annual forum. So follow us, because registrations should open this week, and it will be virtual. Thank you.
About it to make the cluster initiatives aware in the region to have their say. Thank you, Andrea. Christina.
Cluster management could be a facilitator between R&D institutions and SMEs that are partners in this triple helix collaboration, and they help SMEs with training courses for reskilling, upskilling, cross-skilling of their employees and entrepreneurs. And it's an important activity of clusters for the next period in this time, turbulence of this time.
Thank you. Thank you, Christina. Let's go to Lubomir and Genoveva.
Yes, hello again. So before answering to your question, I just want to shortly answer your first question, which was not coming to me. So how we are supporting the SMEs. So the automotive industry is really practical. So what we found is that we had the problem that most of our members are big, usually international companies, which are not SMEs. And then we sit down and discuss with them, and now they are supporting us to go and research and look for companies, usually small and medium enterprises that we can work with, which are usually outside of the automotive industry, but they can become part of this supply chain. And we are really proud that we are finding a lot of companies dealing with electronics and software, and we think that this could be a thing for Bulgaria because we had a lot of them and a lot of expertise. So we think that in the near future, Bulgaria will develop as a hub for automotive electronics and especially software. Coming back to the maps, how we are working, how this is supporting the clusters. So at the moment we had, as I told you, developed 14 different industries, and every one of these 14 different industries in the heart of the project is a cluster or cluster association which was responsible for which is dealing with this industry. So I think this project is first identifying the size and the location of the different companies, and secondly, this is fostering the role of this cluster organization, because sometimes they are even associating potential new members which they didn't consider in the beginning, and of course this is fostering the role of this organization in front of the government, because they know that they are behind this project. Actually, at the moment from next week, we start discussing with the Agency for Small and Medium Enterprises the second the second step of this project, and for sure one of the interesting sectors for Bulgaria will be the creative industry, which I think that Genoveva can talk about.
Yes, I already mentioned that really, I mean, the creativity, and I think clusters are very creative, generally innovative. So this could save really, I mean, a lot of companies and could help them benefit in this pandemic crisis. But I just would like to, you know, Milucia, so I would like to say something. I'm very short. I think today in all the speeches and especially presentations of my colleagues, the other clusters, we show that clusters are really interesting and, how to say, very fresh organizations who are attracting talent, and more talent, including I think the trend in Romania is the same, are coming back to the region. Like in Bulgaria, many Bulgarians, they are now coming back. They would like to work somewhere where it's, you know, it's interesting, it's challenging, is dynamic. So clusters are offering such opportunities. So back to your question, yes, the industrial maps they are coinciding where the clusters organizations are usually based. So I really like, and I will use a lot, the slogan of Andrea. So this is Danube region is where people, it's where life likes, no, where
to live, I think.
Well, help me. I really love this one. Where life.
Well, this is actually our vision.
Exactly.
So our vision, the vision of the Danube strategy, is that the region, this one is a region where life loves to live.
Life loves to live. So I think clusters are showing this, attracting more talent and showing the results and case study, make this region full of life, which really this life is love to be living. So thank you very much for giving me this. I would use it a lot.
I can even give you our slogan, which is not yet official because it hasn't yet been approved, but it is prosperity through prosperity through diversity.
Thank you. And Andrea, again, your closing word to this session, hands-on experience.
Yes, so speaking about concrete experiences and speaking about clusters, in Romania, we know that the SME collaboration culture is quite weak. That means that if there is no structure, there is no intermediary to somehow make SMEs cooperate, they won't, because they might think that I am going to steal your technology, you are going to steal my technology, whatsoever. So we as cluster, we have experienced that, okay, so we come from a less developed country where the wood industry has quite a long tradition, but coming back to the idea of rosewood, what we have experienced and is the fact that through rosewood and through identifying these best practices from much better developed countries, helped us in showing these examples to our companies, which they considered it useful, and they are really looking forward to do some improvements and adapt themselves to the new digital trends.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I hope right now, I cannot see Theodora, Daniel there, but I hope now this session can be closed. Thank you very much for having me part of your conference. I hope that next time, 2021 at the very latest, it will no longer be virtual, but a real one. And I wish you all the best, a nice closing of the session, and particularly good luck in the implementation, not about the projects that we're presenting in this session, but also of your vision for the next coming year or years in the program. And with this,
thank you,
Austria.
Thanks, Lucia. It was really great to have you. And just one comment to make: it's not. This conference, it's also yours. It's not just, you said it, I mean, but it's your part of our society. So it's also your conference, and we prove that we are a very good team, and it was really great having you. So thank you very much for being with us the most of the day. Thank you for the great moderation, and thank you for the all input.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to you. And a big hug and a big bye. Bye.
Bye. Okay, what a day. What a day. I think we've been really hungry for being being together, being in a room. Even I can't remember since when I haven't been on the high hills for such a long, but it's a huge pleasure for me. So it was really a great overview, I think. I mean, we proved that clusters stand for connecting, sharing, exchange, communicating, looking for cooperation. Clusters are definitely the engine and the fuel of the changes and bringing new business opportunities. We proved again with this event that we can collaborate, and I believe this is going to stay for the next till tomorrow, when we will make that we'll continue this communication and everything what has been said throughout the day with during the evening and tomorrow morning for the networking session. So just to say what is coming on board. So there is now time to continue networking, have a drink, continue looking for opportunities. Tomorrow from 10 o'clock in the other room, which is on the first floor, not this one, one floor up. The name of the hall is Romance. It's a very different scenario, different atmosphere, but we created it in a way that in a relaxing way to continue exchanging ideas and to see what's next, because we heard from what's coming on the different project side from the European Commission. There is a lot to work on. So thank you very much to all speakers, all who are online and been with us the entire day. Thank you for the team, speakers, partners. Thank you very much. Thank you, Daniel, for really working hard a lot on this. Thank you very much.